All right, I'll do it. Straight through the back of the head, like you say. But if this is justice, then I'm a banana.
Ah, yes. It's not a stream of mime if we don't start off with some heavy metal. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I see Tyler Jorgens is here, Gabe the Gen, Mata, Sister Bex, or just RPX, Servant. There's probably others that will come in as well. Hopefully everyone is having a swell Saturday. I just got up. So I am trying and can't even I do this and I forget that I actually can't snap my fingers for shit. I just did it like that, like nothing. Whatever. So what are we doing today? Obviously we're not building model kits. That's not what's on the docket today. What is on the docket today? Even though the Nightingale is just sitting right here. Like, look at the fucking size of this thing. God. Anyway, the things I get myself into. But what we've got ourselves into today is we are closing out a comic book, something we have not done here in a fucking while. But hopefully we're going to get to do more often. Open and close them, because I'm very excited about what we're going to be talking about today and who we're going to be talking with. So before I bring the lady of the hour in, allow me to do one thing real quick. Since it's going to be a Discord call, it'd be a really bad idea not to have my headphones in. So, let me set my audio device there. And she disappeared on me. Serena, get in the voice. What are you doing? You see what I have to deal with this company? I swear to God. I kid. Hopefully my my audio devices are working properly. Let me just check and... Okay, everything's good there. But yes, the lady of the hour is in the chat, but not in the voice chat like she's supposed to be. She was waiting like 5 minutes ago, and then I actually start talking, and she poof gone. There she is.
Hi.
Hello, Serena.
Micah. Hey, everyone.
So, are you nervous like usual, or are you feeling pretty good?
I'm nervous like usual. I do not.
I had a feeling. Well, you shouldn't be nervous. You should be proud. And this is the reason why. Ah! The blank monitor is not the reason why, I promise.
Blank.
Where'd the thing go? There we go. Okay. But, Black Rhapsody Part 1, your very first comic book, and you cracked over $10,000.
Yes.
Well,
I did.
To ask the general interviewer question, how does that make you feel? Though that sounds more like a psychologist question, but either way, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel both proud and somewhat disappointed because
Really?
I feel. I don't know. I just feel. I'm very proud. It's just that I'm kind of feel disappointed myself that it took this long. I wish things had in this journey.
Yeah, trust me, I know that feeling quite well. As you already know, like it feeling like you're behind on things is never a fun feeling. But the book is done. I know for a fact that there's some people in the chat that have actually already gotten their books and have read it. So you guys should probably tell Serena what you thought of it in the chat. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes.
But no, for your very first book, though, this is really good. But the one thing that there's a couple things that we should point out to people, or at least I think should be pointed out to people, of just how successful you were with this book. Most people are selling their books at like $25 a pop. You sold yours at $15. And then on top of that, you still got 272 backers.
Yep.
Like, that's really good for your first book. I think that I'm gonna have to check this real quick. I think you might have done better than I did with Englewood Book 1. At least on backer count. Okay, never mind. But I completely forgot I had like 500 backers on on the first book. Okay, never mind. But still, you did really good. It goes without saying. And also, to be fair, you pissed off a lot less people than I did during that time period. But yeah, I have to say, just as somebody who taught you as much stuff as I have, and you know, I'm very proud of you. I'll be a big wuss for a second and say that. You know, I know how much of a rough journey this has been, and I feel like the one thing that, at least when I think of like Indiegogo campaigns, the one thing I feel breaks a lot of people is the stress. And I know that you've had some down moments, but you've really come through it, I think, a lot better than when you started.
Yes.
So
there were plenty of points where I just felt like giving up that I just didn't think I could fulfill.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up.
To pull through with you guys' help and CB's help.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and this is sort of like a lesson in life, is, and the one that I had to learn painfully by actually giving up, is there is no greater failure than giving up on yourself. Like, at least I think so. Because at that point you're basically telling yourself that you're not worth it, which is not something, in my opinion, anybody should tell themselves. Not if they want to grow as a person and to succeed, which you have, you know. So I am extremely happy with how well this is done. Here's the question that I have for you. Well, actually, real quick, let's go over what we have left in regards to books, because I have to phrase it that way because, folks, she's almost sold out of stuff.
We ran out of the colored print of the books.
Yeah, like we have 7 standees left, which ship to the EU, the USA, of course, Kangaroo Stan, Canada, and the United Kingdom. And of course, we don't run out of digital PDFs, but and then of course we have 5 more, just normal black and white books.
Yeah.
So, for those of you playing the home game, these are basically your last chances to get these things. Like the fact that she's so low on stock, by the way, in my opinion, is incredible. Let's look at the chat real quick. Ugly Media, apparently this is Xeno Nick. I didn't know that you changed your nickname. He says, "Way to go, Serena. We're all proud of you." There you go.
Thank you.
Tyler Jorgensen says he likes part 1, even though part 1 is the story setup. And yeah, that's generally speaking how it goes with your very first book. Is it's meant to set up. It's either going to be self-contained or it's going to set up the rest of the, the rest of the saga. Which, considering it's called Book 1, I would hope that people would realize what the next thing is supposed to be. But it goes without saying that, you've done quite well. But the question that I have for you is, now that it is all said and done, what do you think the biggest lessons you learned from doing your first comic were?
Keep things simple. Be as specific and detailed as possible when it comes to your tiers.
That sounds like there's a story there. Is it one that you want to tell?
I kind of realized I wasn't specific in the early parts of my campaign when it comes to which prints. It had a lot to do with setting the color as the stretch goal and trying to figure out the logistics of it.
And
I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, I have to admit, because I remember when you came to me with that problem, like, how do I handle this? And we figured it out, but it goes without saying, it's a setting your goal to be like a stretch goal to have the book colored is a kind of a tricky one, to say the least. Not to mention it can piss people off, because at the end of the day, so for those of you playing the home game, generally speaking, whenever a book starts out and it's being crowdfunded, it starts out advertised as being colored, the color process has probably already started, or they have somebody lined up to start immediately once the crowdfunding ends. Whenever you set it as a stretch goal, what you're effectively doing is the due date that you set up originally, you probably set that due date up with how long it was going to take for the black and whites to get done. For the colors, it's like taking your due date, which is my right hand here, and then stretching it.
Yeah.
So people admit it, like, we'll get a bit frustrated with it. It's because, like, what the fuck? Why do I have to wait when I just wanted the black and white? So that one is logistically difficult, and it's something that I talked about with Lolly. Because for those who don't know, Grindstone Arts, we are publishing the almighty Lolly's comic, Cyberpop Control Theory. And we had talked about doing color as a stretch goal, and I had to go, no. This, like, let's not do it here. Let's do it. We could do a different version, or something like that with colors. Because if we try to crowdfund the colors, then we're increasing the due date, and everybody just gets angry. Like let's not go there. So
I wish
let's
they know.
Yeah.
They just stick. But
lesson
back
learned.
to make it into like a American manga, and that kind of fell through.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the end of the day, that's the toughest part, I think, of this whole process, of the creative process in general, is that whenever things go wrong. But in a weird way, it's also the point where I think you learn the most, because you have to learn how to fix it. And then you realize how not to do it again.
Yeah.
Hello.
And Mike has joined us.
Hi, Mike.
Hello. I just came to say congratulations.
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah. Been a long
Yay.
campaign.
Too long.
Oh, goodness.
Well, it's understandable. It's one of those things where I sometimes the first campaign is just the longest one, because again, you don't know what you're doing.
Then you're just squinting at all the numbers. You're like, does this sound right? Does this sound right? Does this sound right? Does this sound right? And then
did
eventually gets to the
start-
point where you're just like, oh, that does sound right. Oh, that doesn't sound right at all.
Then slowly cry in the corner as you feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, usually something like that.
Not be shogunite.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, congratulations. I just wanted to pop in to let you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bing. Right.
And off he goes. Oh, that's Mike for you. But anywho, one question that I have for you, Serena. Obviously we have pages on the campaign and everything.
Oh, quickly, I want Leonardo Juan's question in the chat.
Yeah, let's get that.
His first question is it me, or those covers look like Evanescence albums? No, Evanescence was not an inspiration for the covers. The variant cover was an inspiration for a piece done by an artist who did like their own rendition of a Beyonce cover or a Beyonce album, I think, or something from one of her like music videos. I don't remember. So that's where that comes from. The Queen in Yellow cover. If you scroll down, you gotta scroll down a bit.
Yep.
I think up.
Whoa! Adherent of Lady Columbia just threw $5 at me. He says, "Congrats, Serena. Can't wait for issue 2 once I get 1. It's great to see indie comics blooming again, and I love the choice of black and white over color." There you go.
Thank you. Yes, that's the Queen in Yellow cover. That's based on a artistic renditions of one of Beyonce's music albums. Because in case you guys don't know or don't remember, the main villain is based on Beyonce.
Fitting, to say the least.
Hmm.
I've
That-
always had the impression that she is not a nice lady. How the Hove deals with her, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see that in the next book.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Funnily enough, did you know that Jay-Z and I have the same birthday?
You guys do?
Yep, December 4th.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. The joke I always made in high school, because I grew up a metalhead. I mean, not that I'm not now, but was that I was 2 days off of having of sharing Ozzy Osbourne's birthday instead,
Mm-hmm.
because he was born on the 2nd. Leo says something similar to Like a Prayer by Madonna.
Like a prayer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever heard that song.
That's the trailer song from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, that's what it
Yeah,
was?
you are you are so young. Oh my god.
I'm
I'm just gonna say this right now. So I've been helping Serena with this book like since its inception, right? And there's so much based on music, but it's always funny to see the things that you don't know about music, and it always makes me laugh.
I tend to stay in a very small corner when it comes to music. I'm very conservative when it comes to my music. If I like a certain genre, I will stay within that genre and not move.
Man, we gotta broaden those horizons. Granted, I would never put you in a situation where I had to broaden my horizons. I used to be a disc jockey for a country music station.
How was that?
That was my first job ever. And it was a fucking nightmare. Because I was so, I grew up first in Chicago, and then we moved down to Southern Illinois. It was the biggest culture shock, because it's all white people. My younger sister was like the only black person in like a 100-mile radius, it felt like.
Yeah.
So, I never listened to country music. I never really liked it that much. And yeah, it was pretty, like, it definitely broadened my horizons, because every once in a while I would hear something that I liked, but a lot of it I hated. But it still made me understand what the appeal was.
I'm the same way. I am not. I grew up in like an art. Like I grew up in the hood. You know what type of music we listen to in the hood?
Yeah, this
R&B,
is true.
hip hop, rap, pop. What is
Yeah,
this?
I remember I made a obscure, well, not really obscure, but like a dated hip hop reference once on a stream. You were the only person to get it. Because for those wondering, I said this is I said about some goofball online who was just soft as hell. I said he's the kind of person that listens to Ja Rule, and Serena understood what I meant. But yeah, that it's always funny, like whenever it's like somebody mentions like a classic song and you're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh my god. Because this is where we can make fun of Serena real quick, guys. She hadn't heard Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, don't do that. Why are you gonna have me make fun of me?
I think you kind of deserve that one, because Bohemian Rhapsody is considered like the greatest song ever made. It's more shocking than anything, you know. Because something that we put together, which we will debut here in about, let's say, 30 minutes. I made a reference to Bohemian Rhapsody. And Serena's like, what are you talking about? And the other... Now, luckily for you, the other thing that I mentioned was something that even some metalheads would probably go over their heads. Because it was from Slayer's South of Heaven album. And not many people listen like South of Heaven for some reason, which is weird to me. It's my favorite Slayer album. But yeah. Yeah, people are kind of shocked. The song was in the first Suicide movie trailer. Oh God, don't remember. Don't remind me of the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Oh
Tyler
God.
Preston, black woman as a villain. The internet won't like that. Tyler Preston, I'm a black woman.
Yeah, well, one thing I have noticed, Serena, is that there are parts of the internet that do not care if you're a minority. They certainly, like, it's I got crap for having a black protagonist when it's, and they're like, "But you're pale." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm also like ethnically Jewish. I'm a minority myself. What the fuck?"
It still reversed with me. I am black, and yet the main character is a white girl, as you can see on screen right here.
This is why I'm generally of the opinion that social media, spending too much time on it, just starts lowering your IQ, one piece at a time.
I think I've gotten dumb for spending too much time as your social media manager. I think I lost
I,
a couple of brain cells.
well, we're gonna have to find a way to get those back because you're gonna need them. Because we got a lot of writing to do in the future. One question that I have for you, Serena. What would you say is your favorite page from this book?
I would say that my favorite page has to be the one with Alethea playing this. What do you call that? A splash page, like a single page image.
Yeah, splash
It's,
page.
yeah, it's the one with Alethea playing her guitar. That has to be one of my favorite pages ever.
Let me pull it up. Because I have the digital version of your comic, like, right here. Aha! Bear with me for just a second. I'm going to zoom in on it.
And to answer Leonard Wan's question, I heard the comic was also inspired by Matt. Where the heck did it go?
He probably didn't phrase it right.
Oh.
In other words, brain rot. Yes. But,
was inspired by Magical? If so, who was your favorite magical girl from a certain magical girl series? That
is a good question. As we actually have the page in question in front of the stream.
Yeah,
this is a really good one.
Yeah, my favorite. I have a couple of. The one that I referenced that served as the biggest inspiration was Madoka Magica and Sailor Moon, because those are my two most favorite magical girl series. Which, by the way, we just got an announcement that we're getting news soon about the upcoming Madoka Magica movie, Valpurgis Not Rising, and I'm super excited because we heard nothing but radio silence for the past 4 or 5 years since it got announced, probably even longer. I don't remember when it was first announced. But my favorite character from Madoka Magica has to be Mommy.
Everybody seems to love her.
I remember years ago I read there was a spin-off manga featuring, basically it's an alternate universe in which Mommy Mommy survive that episode, that special episode where she
loses her head.
Kind of, yeah. If she has survived that, and it's pretty sad. But it's meant to Mommy as my favorite character in the series. For Sailor Moon, it has to be either Chibiusa, specifically the Dream Arc, where she's the main character, and Sailor Jupiter. Recently, I gained a new appreciation for Sailor Jupiter.
Interesting. I admittedly have like that's one genre I know nothing about because like I'm a dude and I grew up with very very male tastes, I guess you could say. Adherent of Lady Columbia throws in another $5. Says Serena on issue 3 after being social media manager. Skibbity Bob, Riz, Goon, Trap, for real, on them, baddies, good on God, brain rot overload. Oh no. Yeah, we're not. I will make sure that does not happen. I am the editor on these books, or on book 2 onwards. Spoiler. He's like, I'm going to hell for that one. Oh my God.
You'll know one his favorite character is shit, what was her name? The black haired girl. I know who he's talking about, but I forgot her name. What? Oh my god! I forgot her name.
I actually never finished Madoka, so I actually don't remember the name of her.
Ah, crap. Homura. Yes, Homura. Homura Akemi.
There you go.
Yes, rest in peace, Eri Shinohara, the voice of Sailor Jupiter. She recently passed.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sad passings these last couple of weeks. It's been rather depressing, to be honest.
Yeah,
But on a more positive note, I have to say, I love the design of this guitar.
thank you. I found like a couple in the early stages of the comic. I found a couple of references to different guitar because I wanted a unique guitar because it's going to play a role in the story going
Hmm.
forward. And I found Rachel have a guitar with a skull head on it. It was just so cool. I don't know if I still had the I think I got rid of the design sheet because I made so many different design sheets that I kept deleting a few of them because my phone and my iPad couldn't take it. But I used that skull guitar as kind of the inspiration for the one you're seeing on screen.
Well, it is a cool idea. The only tricky part, speaking as somebody who plays stringed instruments, well, a stringed instrument, the one tricky part when I see this would be restringing it. I don't know how I would do it. I'm assuming that the skull comes off.
No, it's kind of a permanent part. You still there?
Yeah. Columbia says in the chat, this is where Serena says, Micah, you gotta finish Majoka. Get that culture.
Yeah, get that culture because you're always get cultured.
This is true. This is true.
I also watch Sailor Moon, so you can get further cultured.
I don't have that much time. I've still gotta I still gotta go through about I'm working on the next Gundam Wing video, and that's gonna take me a few more days. Because admittedly yesterday I was not feeling that great. And I'm still waking up right now. The I've got to get that done. And then once that's finished, I have to start the next series working on that, so which is another war. You know, like it's gonna be. I had to work ahead on my videos to get like 2 or 3 or like 4 scripts done, just so I could carve out time to actually read stuff for the videos after that. So, because how many episodes does Sailor Moon have?
Over 300 plus episodes.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time.
Well, you can always watch the reboot, but the reboot isn't that good, except for
Mm.
some of the. But it's more like closer to the manga than the original '90s one.
Oh goodness. Also, Angry Green Boss is here. What is up, boss?
Hey, boss, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Sailor Moon's existence because when Toonami debuted, this is again in another episode of Micah is fucking old. Um, I remember when it first started airing on Toonami, and I never watched it because I'm trying to think of whatever or what else was on the original block, because it was the block before Gundam Wing was on there. I'll have to look it up.
It was Dragon
Um,
Ball,
Dragon Ball was
uh,
definitely part of it.
Yu Yu Hakusho, and I
I
think
don't think
Naruto.
no, like this was way before Naruto even had come out. Um, Let me look this up because there's actually a Wikipedia that actually goes through the lineups. Um,
Child person, that's a weird thing. I had never seen Revolutionary Girl Utena, and I've heard so much things about that one. It's just one I just never got around to.
Okay, let's see. Where was it that they started doing a lot of anime? Because here it is. It was the 1998 lineup. Because originally it was all West. It was largely Western cartoons. And Xavier's in the chat. What's up, dude?
Hey, Xavier.
Um,
I'm never watching One Piece. Fuck that. I'm sorry,
that's,
but
oh my god, that would take way too fucking long.
yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. Also, I didn't know that the creator of Sailor Moon was married to the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. I've been knew about that.
That's funny.
And I think he wanted her to take over on Hunter X Hunter at one point because he was having so many medical problems. Oh yeah, Tenchi Muya was also being shown on the original Toonami block.
Yeah, that's true. Tenchi Muyo was on there, heavily censored.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a funny. I kind of feel like Toonami didn't really get its groove until they started until like early, like the late, like 1999 2000 era. Though admittedly that was also how I got introduced to Voltron.
I never seen Voltron.
That is one where I'm not going to say you need to get that cultured, because I'm not like I never got super into it. It's kind of interesting that I've become a mecha guy on the internet, yet there's a whole like sector of mecha that I just don't care for. Or I'm not as big into just because there's a giant robot. I'll have to explain that one of these days. But back to Black Rhapsody though. When it comes to the magical girl genre, what were the biggest inspirations in regards to this, and what continue to be? You already mentioned Madoka Magica. Do you take any inspiration from the fucked up magical girl stuff you've asked me to read?
Yes. So I kind of did. There was a point where when I was in a scripting process for this, I was finishing up or reading Magical Girl Sight, that edgy shit. And I started reading that back when I was in college because the premise, it was just so unique. I've never heard of a zombie apocalypse where magical girls are attacking and killing people. So there's a influence from that in there. I just love my edgy schlock.
Yeah, because Magical Girl Apocalypse was definitely that.
Yeah, I read both in college.
I have to just mention the fact that I came out of Magical Girl Apocalypse laughing my ass off. I don't know if that was I don't know if that was the intended effect from the writer, but holy shit.
It goes off the rails by the end.
It is so fucking shameless. it's
we're doing this now. We went from like Walking Dead to Shaun of the Dead.
Pretty much. I mean, just the fact that there is a character nicknamed Titty Chan.
And the fucking police officer, I was not expecting him to live that long.
Oh, the security guard? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
I thought he was going to die early in the series. Like, holy shit, he's still alive?
Though, to be fair, everybody dies at least once in it.
Yeah, but then they start pulling that weird fucking time travel shit. Alternate universe time travel shit. It's just like, okay, we logic has left the window.
It really has, because like they didn't give a fuck about consistency at this point. The creator's like, look, I got an idea, I'm rolling with it. I don't really give a shit if it's that consistent. And it, admittedly, it kind of he makes it work. So
Yeah.
Bunny Gal in the chat says, "Hi Serena, love the comic."
Hey Chelsea, thank you.
Let's see, what time is it? We have about 15 minutes till the unveiling.
Yes. I also, another inspiration was also Berserk, as well as at the time I was reading The Wicked and the Vine. And I know you don't like the comic, but at the time I was working on this, I was very deep into the comic because I just love the premise. I'm a huge mythology nerd, and having a concept of gods as pop stars just intrigued me. And admittedly, now that I'm looking back on it, the writing wasn't good because near the end of the story, it just became like other nonsense, like meta nonsense that a lot of these indie comics just tend to fall into, and I hate that. But I love the art, so I'm just gonna stick with it for the art and the art only.
Yeah. It's a bit of a side tangent. I've always been of the opinion that the reason that Spawn is still as successful as it is it's not trying to be some sort of self-referential meta nonsense where they feel like they have to consistently call itself out all the time. It's like, dude, just tell the story. Shut the fuck up. Like,
That
please
was
just
a
tell the
huge
story.
that was a huge problem with like the Wicked and the Vine. Like there was a lot of references I didn't pick up on because a lot of the comic is steeped in like British pop culture, and I'm not British. I'm American. Plus, they were referencing shit I had no idea what they were referencing, and there were plenty of points where I literally had to reference the Wikipedia of the comic just to understand what the fuck was going on because I was just lost.
Oh, them British, they love their references.
Yeah, but the way the
Uh,
characters talk was like these are teenagers. They should not be talking like pseudo philosophers, or these are like young adults. They should not be talking like they're fucking like pseudo philosophers. Why are they talking like this? I'm confused.
Sounds like a Reddit post, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't like that type of writing when you just have characters who normally would not speak that way try to be profound.
Yeah, it kind of gives the vibes of like, I'm 14 and I think this is deep.
Yeah,
Question from the chat: what are some of your favorite mythologies, Serena?
my favorite mythologies. I have to go with Greek mythology, uh, Japanese mythology because of Persona 4. I love Persona 4. Growing up, and that game introduced me to Japanese mythology, but I have to go with my classics like Greek mythology. It's just a delicious sitcom. Plus, it's interesting when it's not focusing on who is the next woman Zeus is going to bang this week. I love the Hades games because they're not focusing on Zeus and his endeavors. Thank God. We're actually getting other gods that I really like. I love the underworld gods. There's a reason why the main character, her magical girl persona, is based on the Greek goddess of the moon and witchcraft, Hecate. She's the goddess who reunited, in Greek mythology, reunited Persephone with her mother Demeter after Persephone went missing. And she's just an all-around cool chick, man. She gets a bad rap, and I want to do her some justice.
Yeah, the thing about what a lot of people don't really realize about Greek mythology is that when it came to Kratos in God of War, he kind of had a point.
Well, the Olympians, but the other gods, they were fine. Like the underworld gods, they're fine. It's just that the Olympians are the biggest assholes.
Yeah. Smashing Zeus's face in was a cathartic moment in video games for me.
Yeah, I can see that. But just leave my underworld gods alone. Hades is a good boy. He's a good husband.
Oddly enough, he was voiced by Clancy Brown in those games.
He was?
Yep. At least I think he was. I know he was in the third one. That game, they kind of went all out on budget. Kevin Sorbo was Hercules in that. That was interesting.
Tyler Preston, what are you talking about? Why? How are these covers cringe? How does one of them look like Miley Cyrus? What the fuck? Don't insult my comic like that.
What's going on?
No, he's saying one of my covers looks like Miley Cyrus. Don't insult them like that.
I think he's talking about Wicked and the Divine.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, I can see how it looks cringe, but the art, it saves it. I love the character designs. Again, that comic did serve as a huge inspiration for this comic.
I remember when I read it, my biggest issue with it was just that, like, everybody was a dick.
Yeah, that's a issue I had. There was very few likable. Laura was kind of likable in the beginning. Then she became a goddess and just became a huge asshole, which I understand why, because her family died. But still, can you not be a huge asshole and just do something, please?
Hey, here's the thing. Peter Parker lost Uncle Ben, and he's one of the most pleasant human beings in comic books. All right. Like, what's everybody else's excuse, huh? Yeah, I was right. Yeah, he was talking about Wicked and the Divine.
Okay. You gotta specify.
Now, if you want somebody who had an actual excuse for being an asshole in their own book, it was Guts.
Yeah.
Is the Minotaur a Greek myth? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But I'm trying to. When did we think of the tagline for this one? I'm trying to think back to it.
I think I came up with it, and you just told me to go with it.
Yeah, because it was something like, "What if you put Madoka Magica and Berserk in a blender," or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is there is levels of truth to that.
I still have to finish up some of Berserk. I started partway through was it the Golden Age? Because I started on when I first got into reading it. I started on the Golden Age because I heard that one was people's favorite storyline.
Yeah.
So I decided to check that out before going chronological, like the manga's chronological order. Not chronological, but the manga's order.
A note from Ugly Media says, Zeus was voiced by Corey Burton in God of War using his Count Dooku voice. That is true. Leo says, every revenge protagonist turns out to be an asshole. Guts is no exception. Not all of them.
Yeah, you can have nuance. Like, what was that? You did a video about the Punisher. The Punishers are revenge protagonists, and then, like, Frank has a lot of nuance to him.
He could be an incredibly nice guy. It just depends on who's interacting with him.
Yeah.
For like here's an example of Frank Castle. If he's walking down the road and he and some little kid almost like loses their ball in the street, he's gonna run, get that ball, and throw and give it back to the kid. You know, if he sees an old lady in a grocery store who's trying to reach something on the top shelf and she can't get to it, Frank is the kind of guy that would reach up there for her. You know, very very nice guy to people who aren't criminals. Now, if you're a murderer or a rapist or a pedophile or something like that, you're a fucking dead man. And good riddance, you know.
Bye bye.
So yes, and as we see as Berserk goes on, Guts gets better.
Yeah, I just need to find the time to get. I was reading so many mangas, and I kept jumping in between them, not finishing them. That's a huge problem with me. I'll get started on something, and then after a certain point, I'll stop and almost forget about it.
You really ought to finish Berserk. I think that is Berserk is one that I don't say this lightly. It will leave an imprint on your fucking soul. It is that kind of a story.
I was watching some Berserk oriented shorts on YouTube, like lore shorts about some of the characters. The most recent one was the one about Slan, the demon chick.
Oh, that hoe, yeah.
Yeah, like she reminds me of Slanesh. She gave very Slanesh vibes.
Pretty much. That is kind of the role she plays. Though admittedly in the story you don't see a ton of the God Hand. You see them on very specific occasions, so that way when they do show up it's impactful.
Yeah.
But yes, you definitely need to finish that one.
I just need to find time because since working, I haven't had time to do much of anything I like.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Alright. So it has been about an hour.
An hour.
Yes. So, should I hit the button or do you want to hit the button to launch what we were going to launch today?
You can hit the button.
Okay. Let me just preview it real quick to make sure we got all of our bits and bobs in the right places.
Bits and bobs.
Okay. Looks like it's good to go. Alright, everybody. For those of you who are in the chat, I know a lot of people that are already here already have a copy of the book. We have something to mention. That is that we are debuting today. The thing about having a successful book, especially a part 1, is that there has to be a part 2. So Serena, why don't you tell the chat who all is involved in book 2 while I put the finishing touches on this?
Yes. The artist for book 2 is going to be, aside from Micah, I should start from the beginning. Micah, as you all know, is going to be the editor for book 2 of Black Rhapsody, but we also have some new faces. I have managed to get, by the grace of God, a Marvel artist to work on book 2 of Black Rhapsody. This artist worked on The Unstoppable Wasp. This was the comic book about Hank, I think she was Hank Pym's daughter by another woman. I forgot what her name was. And a colorist by name of Yenny Lod. Now, the artist's name is Alti Firmansyah. She's an Indonesian artist. She is really great. She's very nice. The colorist is Yenny Lod. She worked on Deadpool, another Marvel property. So I managed to get 2 people from Marvel to work on my book. Presenting to everyone here, the mailing list for Black Rhapsody Book 2.
There you go, folks. The link is in the chat right now. I just put it in there. I'm going to mark it as our new pinned message.
Yes. Marvel artists from Marvel will be working on Book 2 for Black Rhapsody. And some good news, the book is partway completed. We are 50% done as of this announcement.
Yep. So let's go through this mailing list real quick. I'll go ahead and read through the bits of it. A new all-star team. Writer Serena Sanchez is joined by editor Micah Curtis of Englewood and 3 Nights, 4 Days fame. Artist Alti Firmancia from Unstoppable Wasp, and colorist Yenny Loud from Deadpool to bring this musical horror to life. And this right here is what I was referencing when I was talking about how I made a Bohemian Rhapsody reference that went over Serena's head. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Our heroine, Aletha, stumbles into a new paradise. However, she isn't prepared for what comes next. Her actions in the first book have opened the possibility for her life to become a living hell. And here's an image that shows off a bit of the colors. Unsuspecting victims, no warnings, no signs. Slayer reference. The wrath of a goddess cannot be quelled by apologies alone. Sometimes a blood sacrifice is the only price to pay. Unfortunately for our heroes, they're about to pay it. And then the book is 46 full-color pages of story that blend the genres of magical girls and horror. And then it's going to be preview into the darker and bloodier future for our heroine.
Yes, and the book, and as of right now, LT has illustrated at least 25 pages of the book. So we have another 21 pages, unless my math is wrong, left to complete. So by the time this book launched, the book would be either near complete or fully complete.
Yeah, the pencils at the very least will be completely done.
Yes.
Because it's not going to take that much longer for them to be finished, like, at all. Alti works at a pretty good pace. And from what you've told me, she's pretty psyched about the book, too, isn't she?
Yes. LT was so excited when I presented this opportunity for her that she was hungry for work. And when I pitched the book, she fell in love with the character designs, especially the art aspect. The fashion aspect, because as you know, I'm a fashionista. I love depicting certain types of fashion in my work. As you can see in the cover up front of Alethea and Letitia wearing their casual outfits, the casual goth outfits. So yeah, she was super excited. And she wasted no time on getting started.
In fact, would you be up for showing off the covers real quick?
Yes.
All right.
You have them, right?
I certainly do. Give me 1 second. All right, let's go ahead and show this off. So this, go ahead and go over the first cover with the ghosts and such.
Yes. The person who worked on this, I forgot what her name was. I'm sorry, I'm very, very bad with names. Like, I can remember faces super quickly than names.
I know the feeling.
Yes, what was her name? Yes. The artist who worked on this cover, her name is Shina, Maddie and Shina. And she did a fantastic. Honestly, this is my favorite piece by her.
Not that you're biased or anything.
No, not that I'm not biased or anything, but this is just beautifully illustrated. A demonstration of Alethea's abilities, or at least a preview. As you guys, as, for a refresher, Alethea's magical girl ability is that she can interact with the dead, meaning her song can call them. It's kind of it's a form of necromancy, but it lacks the eviler aspect of taking control of the dead. Her ability allows her to interact with them and call to them. So by call, they can choose not to listen or ignore her, but most of the time they're going to want to come to her because it's a melody. Because to the living, it sounds like, depending on the person, it can sound like utter crap. But someone who is touched by loss or sorrow, it sounds beautiful. It can bring both the dead and living together for basically one last night of a goodbye. So a parent who has lost a child, upon listening to her song, they'll be temporarily reunited with their child just for that moment. It's kind of a reference to how music can invoke memories of or of like special memories of people in our lives that we lost. Like, let's say you had like a song that you or your parent or best friend used to listen to you, but that person is no longer with you. That song can act as a reminder that they're still with you in some way. So that's what her abilities are kind of a reference to.
There you go, folks. And yeah, it is a gorgeous illustration. I'll zoom in a little bit. And I've always, admittedly, like, I kind of feel like one of the internet's biggest fascinations is necromancy, but it's always that edgy guy who wants it. This is a non-edgy take on it, and that's why I like it.
Yeah, you kind of helped me smooth out that bit with it, how to tackle it in a much more better light.
Well, yeah, because it's, if you think about it, it's like half the necromancers are guys that are like hidden under a fucking cloak like this. And there's like, ooh, look at me, I'm spooky and edgy and mysterious and blah 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 blah. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, what? Like, it doesn't have to be like that. There's other ways to do it. There's other ways to make this interesting and not like some fucking, look at me, I'm so fucking deep. Watch me listen to Linkin Park and slit my wrists while I summon ghosts. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, let's make this interesting. Like, come on.
So yeah, her power, yeah, it also connects, like, her powers does connect back to the mythological figure she's based on, Hecate. Hecate in mythology is oftentimes seen associating with ghosts. She's a chthonic god, so she's associated with the underworld, and she spends most of her time with her ghost companions.
Now let's look at the second cover. This, now, of the two, personally, this is the one I like a little bit better. It'll show off the full trade dress. And yes, for those curious, book 2 of Black Rhapsody will be published by Grindstone Arts. So, I'm very happy to have Serena's book be another one that we're publishing. I'm of the opinion that right now we don't have the biggest lineup in the world, but we got a really good one. We have Cyberpop, we have Black Rhapsody, we have Englewood, we have Peregrine, we have other stuff that's going to be coming out as well. It is, I'm very proud to have Serena with us. Let's just put it that way. I am a proud mentor, to say the least. But this one I'm a huge fan of because I really like a comic book that gets personal. It's the Spider-Man fan in me. Something where you feel the stakes of what's going on because there is a very close embedded element within within the characters. They all have a close connection to one another. It's part of the reason why when the eclipse happens, why everybody and their mother at this point, who has read Berserk, would absolutely love to kill Griffith, sort of like how the Mountain killed what's his face in Game of Thrones by crushing his skull through after like thumbing them in the eyeballs. Like, you know, it's personal at that point. You know, you feel like you as the reader have been slighted by this asshole. And in this particular case, well, go ahead and explain the connections between our characters here.
So the characters you're looking at on screen right now is of Letitia and Alethea during their time in school, just hanging out. As you can kind of see on the obvious phone and blood splatter, something happens involving the two girls in the story. If you remember from the last story, Letitia kind of freaks out at Alethea for the little incident she caused during the audition, and now has to, you know, save her friend in some way or try to right a wrong that can't be rectified. And Alethea is about to have the night of her life, let's say, not to spoil too much. But yeah, the girls they're about to have a bloody journey. Again, not trying to spoil too much in the book, but things go from worse to absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they really do. Thank you, Apocalypsagon, by the way. He says Oberyn Martell. I always forget his fucking name.
Who's Oberyn Martell?
So he is a character. He's the character that got here I am bad with names again. Pedro Pascal kind of made him a household name because he was in Game of Thrones, and then after his role in Game of Thrones, because that character was so charming, that's now Pedro Pascal's in fucking everything because of it. So yeah, basically he was Oberyn Martell. His sister was the first wife of the guy who basically kicked off the war that takes place right before the show Game of Thrones begins, where the Targaryens are finally unseated from power in Westeros. Basically what happens is, dude was married to Oberyn Martell's sister. Kingdom was fine, but dude had a crush on Ned Stark's sister. Problem is that Ned Stark's sister was betrothed to Robert Baratheon, who is so fucking angry. He was very hard to kill when he was young. Robert Baratheon is a very angry, drunk young man with a very large hammer, and he embedded that shit right in the prince's chest. So yeah. So needless to say, like that's how the character comes into play. Is his sister was killed by a guy named the Mountain, Gregor Clegane, who cut his sister in half after raping her, and then killed their children.
Clegane, so, yeah. You mean that dude responsible for that weird Clegane bullshit? I kept.
I get hype. So sorry. My favorite character in Game of Thrones was the Hound, who was Gregor's younger brother, and he's the best character in the story. Yeah, it is. Gregor Clegane was a douchebag, to say the least. Sandor Clegane, his younger brother, the Hound, is like the man.
I never watched Game of Thrones.
That's another one that, well, I don't know if I could really recommend Game of Thrones.
You see, I know about the ending of the show, and that's why I haven't checked it out.
Yeah, I can't really blame you at that point, because Like, I can count the number of good seasons of that franchise on one hand. There is literally just 5 of them. The first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then the first season of House of the Dragon. Everything else is kind of either ranges from to not really worth it at all. Which I was very disappointed with House of the Dragon, because the first season of it was great. The second season of it was kind of weak. Then again, I'm of the opinion that the reason that the first season was so good was because of Paddy Considine, not really much else. Because he's an amazing actor. If there's anybody in the chat who has never watched Dead Man's Shoes, go watch it. Great movie.
I never seen that.
Oh my god. It is one of the best revenge films I've ever watched.
I heard good things about House of the Dragon.
First season, great. Second season, Have a good night, Chelsea.
Night, Chelsea. Thank you.
But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because, like, Game of Thrones is effectively like probably the most popular dark fantasy on planet Earth. But it just, there's so much of it that just is not really that great. But this is great, though. Black Rhapsody looks great.
Yes. Oh, let's show off some pages.
Yeah, let me grab a few of them. Any specific ones you have in mind?
The ones I sent you in DMs.
Oh, hold on a second. I actually had minimized Discord.
Now I should add the first 6 pages have been colored. The rest of the book is still being worked on.
Yes. Why is Discord not wanting to... There we go. Okay. Allow me to... What we're going to do then is we're going to show off the first 6 pages of the book and then a big splash page that has not been colored yet.
Yes.
Alright. Did I get them out of order? I might have got them out of order. I did. Hold on one second. Okay. Allow me to embiggen this. Okay.
Embiggen.
So, we begin our story. Actually, I'll let Serena walk us through this. I'm going to... I just realized I'm not sharing the screen of my OBS with you, which I should be doing. So that way you can see exactly what I'm doing.
Yes. Now, as you can...
There we go.
Yes, as you can see, this is the first page of the book. It continues off where the last book left off, with Letitia running to the Nebula Tune building to try and hopefully fix Aladea's situation. You can go to the next page. Yes. She runs. She walks in on the Dulcibella. She walks in on Dulcibella brushing her teeth after Aladea's little comment about her. And Daphne, the chick in the chair, she's not happy. Valentine's just confused, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my favorite page. It's just so timely. You guys will never guess what I use as inspiration for that slap.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. But yeah, Daphne is very clearly not happy. And basically, makes a basically she's not happy at the idea that Letitia is wearing a shirt of a band that's not signed under them, and proceeds to slap the crap out the girl. It's a mystique. People keep that.
Just so everyone knows, this is the opposite of what we do at Grindstone Arts. I do not care if people wear shirts from other companies. Though I admittedly am wearing a shirt from a Grindstone book. So, yes. Let's continue onward.
I'm looking at the chat, says Mystique. This, oh my, love child Mystique and Rogues. You see, about Belle's design, I did not realize that she looked like Mystique until someone pointed it out to me.
Yeah, there's definitely some similarity there. But there's also some difference as well.
Is that enough to where Marvel doesn't start looking at me?
I think we'll be fine.
Sure? Because they very protect IP.
Bring them on. We have a lawyer now. We're good.
Yes, please protect me, Hatman. I do not want Marvel trying to assassinate me. Also, yeah, she's basically trying to apologize, basically posture herself to Daphne and Dulcibella, trying to ask for Dulcibella's forgiveness.
I just want to say I feel bad for this dude right here. Imagine just like your life as a security officer and bodyguard has been, you're just walking around with some chick's spittoon. Man, I would look for better work.
Oh, well, he can't. Well, that's not an option for him.
Sadly, no. But the situation does get worse.
And Dulcibella takes offense to that. Dulcibella doesn't like the fact that Letitia wants to ask for her friend's forgiveness. Because as you probably need a fresher, Aldia pretty much disrespects her in probably one of the most funniest ways. And that guitar scene that you showed earlier, the one from the book, the first book of Aldia playing the guitar, that follows up with the most funny sequence I have wrote in the book. Basically, Aldia throws an attitude and decides it will be a very, very smart idea to disrespect a goddess. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's pretty funny. And Dulcibella basically wants to break Letitia's body over her knee and possibly do even worse. Now, as you can see, when Dulcibella gets angry, her skin darkens. And when she gets pissed off, she looks like a walking black abyss. As you're about to see in the book. So her skin color changes. So one of the things that differentiates her from Mystique is that her skin color changes depending on her mood. And she loses her star freckles. You can go to the next one. Oh, Tyler Preston, your question is, she's a dark elf. Letitia's a dark elf. If he's the one you're referring to.
It's a fucking dirty drow. Terrible. How dare
God.
she?
Yes, how dare she? Why must you be racist? We do not support.
I support the salamanders. Okay, I'm on team human.
I'm on team Eldar.
How dare you? The heresy.
Yes.
You need to get on that Vulcan train. Salamanders for the win.
Look, that was not the Eldar shard. That was the Dark Eldar shard. They're their own different thing.
Now the Eldar can get it too.
No, the Eldar.
Yeah. I will say this: at least they're not the fucking Tau.
Yes, they're not the Tau.
Fucking fish weebs.
Yes, the fish weebs. The dark Eldars are the ones that you can like burn them to death, but leave my craft worlders alone, okay? So yeah, things get very worse, and Isabella is 2 seconds away from straight up killing that girl. When you piss off a god, don't try to say you're sorry, because sorries don't always help. Sorries tend to make things very worse.
Yeah,
You can
I
go
think
to
that
next.
goes without. Yep, let me bring up that splash page.
Yes.
Because
This
this is
is
A,
probably,
gorgeous, and B, later in the book.
yes. This is way later in the book. This is during a dream sequence Althea is having. That's all I'm going to say. And she sees a beautiful paradise of girls just having a good time with a mysterious winged woman who has a connection to her. Not gonna say what it was, but let's just say these two are connected in some way. But yeah, this is gonna look very beautiful once it's colored.
Yeah, to say the least. Angry Green Boss says, so is it safe to say that the villains are a specific C word that I'll get demonetized for saying?
Yes.
Yeah, can confirm. They're pretty terrible. The one thing I have to say I love about it is that you have taken what I would consider like pop star terrible and turned it into demons, and it's great.
Yeah.
These characters are like the worst elements of like diva culture that you'll ever hear about, but just turned up to 11. Because
Well, he's sorry. Sorries don't help
no,
Tyler Press. Sorries don't make things right for Dusabella. Somebody's gotta die.
yep, your existence can no longer be tolerated. So yeah, suffer not the Xenos to live. Exactly.
I'll leave my craft worlders alone.
All I will say to for that is just that Vulcan lives. He's somewhere out there. He's probably on probably hanging out on some random world like with a giant cat as a pet or something, because it sounds like what he'd do.
Yes, him and his kitty.
But he's just sitting there going, well, one of these days my kids will find all the artifacts. Maybe.
While everything burns around him.
Yeah, I mean, this is Vulcan. But he's the best. Anyway, enough about the Primarchs. Rogaldorn sucks. But yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, everybody hates Rogaldorn. It's the fucking worst Primarch. Actually, no, that's not true. He's not the worst Primarch, but he's pretty up there. I have to say, I love the detail in this.
Yes, I like Altie's design work is godly when it came to her. She was able to capture. I gave her some references of what I wanted the winged woman to look like, and she was able to get it down beautifully. She improved all a prototype concept design that I had, and made this.
Yeah, I have to say, this is so much better than what she was doing for Unstoppable Wasp.
Yes, and she's more happier doing this than being with Marvel.
I'm gonna start using that in Grindstone advertisements. We've hired creators who have worked for Marvel and they like us more. What does that tell you?
I mean, try to get some of their artists, but it's hard to get in contact with those artists. There's some artists that just don't want to be contacted.
Yeah.
Like, come on, please, can I get a commission from you, please? I love your art.
One thing that I heard from one artist. This gives us the chance to rant about something that the chat will understand completely. Is I heard from one artist that that I commissioned once or tried to commission, that the reason that they didn't answer most of their emails is because they get so many emails from furries.
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
now that makes.
It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, like that. That whole rumor about, like, there are a ton of, like, rich furries out there that are willing to spend thousands of dollars to get a really good artist to draw their fursona is apparently very true.
Oh wow. Okay, so that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, the problem is that if you ever draw one of them, that's basically what the rest of your artist career is going to be. Nobody's going to want to touch you with a 10-foot pole if you're doing furry art.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I can't say that I blame them, because it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, really?
Okay, because I've been, like, I'm not a furry. I just really like their art, and I really want a commission by it. But with the whole furry thing, now I'm starting to understand why most of their DMs are closed, and they don't give out their emails that easily. It's almost impossible to find some of them with any emails or any contact, or get them to contact you back.
Yeah, Brain in the chat says, of course it is. Look at the suits that they wear. Those on average cost about $1,000 a piece. Pretty much.
Who the hell buys a fucking fursuit for $1,000? Over $1,000 that can go to your kid's college fund or to a house.
You're assuming a lot by thinking that these furries are ever going to have children.
I hope not.
I hope not either. That's a terrible way to grow up. You would be so confused.
But, like, who the fuck spends that much money on a fucking fursuit?
People with rich parents.
I can't. Yo, if I ever found out my child did that, I would just disown that man. Look, I'll accept a lot from my kid. I'll accept the fact that they're gay. I'll accept the fact that they're dating people outside of their faith or whatever. But the furry shit, I'm sorry, but I can't accept that. I'll accept a lot of shit. I can't.
Yeah. If I ever had a child that's like, I saw them bring home a fursuit, I'm like, I'm burning this right now, and you're going to therapy forever.
Yeah, that's an automatic disown.
Like, I don't care if we have to put you through shock therapy. We are unfucking you right now. Like, what the hell?
Like, I would mind just sending them to Bible school. Like, maybe you need to fight Jesus. Maybe that will shrink.
Mommy's a raccoon and daddy's a hippo. Oh no.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Wait, phrase what? What did I say? Columbia, what did I say? That was bad?
Oh, she was mentioning that she wanted to get in touch with some of the artists that are talented, but that's the reason that she's not happy that that's the reason that their DMs are closed.
Yes. I want to pay them for their art. That's it. Not do any creepy shit.
Yeah, that'll be another one of our advertisements in the future. Grindstone Arts, saving artists from the furry vortex.
It's a thing. Yes. Can you go gift somewhere else, dude? Can you just be normal for 5 seconds?
Brings up the old adage of yiff and hell, and then there's another word after that I can't say without getting demonetized. But yeah, it's one of those things where Tyler Preston puts it perfectly. Son, Dad, I'm gay. Me, good for you. Hope you're happy. Son, I'm also a furry. Me, get the fuck out of my house.
You freak. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The wild things that get found on the internet, man. It is, it will always mystify me. Absolutely mystify.
The internet is like the Necronomicon. Once you open it, you can never close it, unsee what you just saw.
Yeah, there's definitely truth to that. I have definitely seen a lot of things in my time on the internet that I could go without ever seeing again.
It reminds me of that adage. Do you think the reason why God stays in heaven is that he's afraid of what he's created? And then you look at the furry fandom, and then you realize, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be around that either. DC's Cheetah ruined a whole generation. I don't know if it's Cheetah or if it was the Thundercats.
Yes. Two things can be true at once.
Fair. I just think the Thundercats were a lot more popular. We had talked about this ages ago when Tom King said he was going to try to make the relationship between Cheetah and Wonder Woman like Batman and Joker, and it's like, dude, Cheetah is not that popular. Cheetah as a villain has not been popular in like comic books in decades. Like there's really like nothing notable about her.
Yeah, pretty much. And how she and Wonder Woman are besties in the comics.
Bleh. Why do people feel the need to do that? I will never understand.
Also, I have to say this. Do not go around saying weird shit about my characters, saying that, oh, my characters are gay or all this other nonsense. Don't do that, please. Don't say two characters who are friends are actually secretly lovers. Keep your fucking headcanons to yourself, please.
Thank you for saying that. I feel like enough people don't say that are creators, honestly.
If I show my characters to be a certain way, they are that way. It's not allegory for anything. They're just are that way. If they're straight, they're straight. If they're gay, they're gay. It's whatever. I'm showing in the book. I'm a very straightforward person. I know what I said. I know what I mean.
And this is it's funny you bring that up because I feel like one of the funniest things about that, or at least kind of like what's kind of telling about people on the internet, because they always assume that. Sorry, still waking up. They always assume that two characters that they have a completely platonic relationship are gay, or something like that. And what that just tells me personally is that person in question doesn't have any friends.
Thank you for saying that.
It's kind of sad because it's like you're basically telling me you've never had a friend.
And I really hate when they use the whole, well, it's like we were just trying to make something for us. We're trying to make something that relates to our experience. Motherfucker, I don't care about your experience. Your experience has nothing to do with what I wrote in my book. If you relate to a certain character, that's all right. But don't say that this character is actually this way because you relate to them.
There's more to life than who you either who you stick your dick in or who's sticking it in you.
The concept of friendship is lost on people.
It really is. And it's just sad to see. Because C.S. Lewis had a quote that perfectly summarized the people who see Sam and Frodo as lovers and not war buddies. Yeah, it was something to the tune of, well, he basically was saying that, yeah, the people who assume that have no friends. Like, you've been deprived of the experience of having a real friend. And it is sad, honestly. It's very sad. Because having a good friend in life can save you at points. You know? And I'm always of the opinion that, like, a good friendship story can be one of the most heartwarming things that you could ever encourage. If you're constantly worrying about who's fucking who, I think your priorities are in the weirdest spots. If you want to watch a story about who's fucking who, go watch a soap opera.
Or go watch porn. Because let's be honest, that's what these people are looking for.
Oh my god, Columbia, listen to this. Some media critic waxing pseudo-analysis. Serena clearly was pressured by the socio-political times. Clearly Black Rhapsody was an allegory for lesbian cannibal corpse.
Fuck off.
That sounds like something In Praise of Shadows would say.
Or just he gendered. That dude's just like, alright, I have to say that now because people are going to take that picture of Letitia and Alethea and just say all types of bullshit.
Yeah. Man.
They're not lovers. Female friendship and male friendship are two different things. They express it very differently. Men are not that physical with each other than women are.
This is true. Like, you ever notice this is a fun little thing, like, difference between genders? Because oddly enough, like, I think that stuff like this is also why, like, everybody thinks that every girl in Hololive is gay for some reason. Is, if you ever compare a room full of men and a room full of women, with men, we're always putting distance between each other. We're very rarely ever, like, shoulder to shoulder and stuff like that. You put a group of women together, everybody's sitting on everybody else's lap. It's just how girls are. You know, it doesn't mean they all want to fuck each other. Girls are just different.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time... Here's the perfect comparison. So you got me and my best friend, Josh. Whenever my mom would come home, and Josh and I were hanging out, I'm on one side of the couch, he's on the opposite side of the couch. Always a good bit of distance between us. Whenever one of my younger sisters had had their friends over, there was like 6 or 7 girls piled on one fucking couch. You know? Servant throws in $5. Thank you. He says, they are friends, not lovers. Just because you never had the friends doesn't mean all the things that they do is bang, okay? Yeah, there is the distinct possibility that maybe Aletha does not like the taste of carpet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Columbia says, my bro and I always hug and slap each other's back and shoulder. That's 15 years of broship. Yeah, like, I hug my friends and stuff like that. But, like, normally whenever, like, we're just sitting and talking, there's a distance. Whereas girls are always, like, glued onto each other.
Yeah, you're saying...
That's why when one of them goes to the bathroom, it suddenly becomes a community event.
Yeah. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen my female co-workers do that with each other.
It's still a thing, even past high school. It's wild to me. Oh, goodness. But yeah, that has to be one thing that is interesting about being a creator. Is I think, like, eventually you will encounter Twitter weirdos. And it's always fun.
I encounter them every day.
Yeah. What is the weirdest claim that you ever saw about Black Rhapsody Book 1?
The weirdest claim? I haven't seen weird claims, but I think the closest was the fact that someone had said that the lettering was off, or that I didn't like state what the I forgot what was the artist. Like I didn't clearly state that the artist was the penciler. I said artist and not penciler or inker, and they got real anal about that. I'm like, they're the artists. I use them interchangeably.
Yeah, that's autism, in my opinion. Like, yes, penciler is more precise, but most people will understand what you mean when you say artist and then you have colorist and inker. Like, people will get what that means.
Yeah, they for some reason they tried to. I don't know why they got upset about that. I still credit the artists on the book. I still gave them their due credit on their work. I don't know why it doesn't matter which terms I use.
I don't know, man. That's the weird. That's. I think I've got you beat. Apparently, somehow, I'm a racist for creating a book with a black protagonist.
How? They do understand what that term means.
I don't fucking know, man.
If you was a racist, I would not be working for you, much less be published under you.
This is true.
How the fuck does that work? Last time I checked, race is what nothing to do with people of the opposite skin color, or who are not of their skin or that ethnic group.
Yeah, because it's like, let me think about this for a second. Because the company is co-owned by a person who is of Jewish descent. Somebody actually asked this earlier, that they didn't know that being a Jew is a race. It's kind of both. You could also just interchange it with Hebrew. The basic idea is that if your biological mother was Jewish, was of Jewish descent, you are a Jew, which my biological mother was. I was not raised Jewish, though. I was raised in a Christian household, so I'm religiously Christian. But I am of the tribe as well. You can be both. I point out to people all the time that the first Christians were Jews.
Hey, Micah, can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Do you have control over the weather?
We can't divulge those secrets.
Because I'm not a tribe.
Exactly. We have this agreement with the Illuminati across the offices from Da Jews Incorporated, where we don't divulge certain secrets to those who do not run the world. So we have to keep everybody down. You got to remember that. So the only thing I confirm is that the hurricane that hit Louisiana was an accident. Somebody left the switch on while we were having our meeting with our annual meeting / get together with the Illuminati and the lizard people from down the hall. And there was a little bit of controversy about why the fuck somebody brought chicken bacon ranch sandwiches, but especially when only about half of us like keep kosher. But you know, it is what it is. So the switch got left on, and now we got a hurricane. Sorry, but just tell the Illuminati to stop putting bacon on everything. God. But no, but like, Grindstone is co-owned by a Jewish guy, ethnically Jewish guy, and then our social media manager is black, and then our editor-in-chief is Native American. So, like, we have the proper amount of diversity, I think. So, oh, this is going to be funny. Racism is clearly power plus privilege, and Micah being a white and star person gives him the clear power over disadvantage. I've actually had that argued to me before, believe it or not. Something very similar to that. But yeah, it is a clearly this is an 1800s plantation. Oh my god. But yeah, that one was funny because I couldn't win that one. I just called the person an idiot, Because the first reason that they said that I was a racist is because of Three Knights. Because because the cast was all white in 1100 in 12th century England.
You're not gonna see black people in that area during that time.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, well, it's glorifying crusaders. I said, not all crusaders were evil.
Oh my god, they're doing that fucking Kingdom Come shit.
Yeah. Which in the book, it's actually a plot point that those three guys were not happy about the situation they were in. But they were soldiers. Like, what other option did they have? There's going to be a prequel book at some point to it that goes over the war itself. It's just going to be hard to... I'm in the process of conceptualizing it, because I kind of felt like if you go from, demons and shit to just Saracens, it's a little deflating. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make it compelling. And hey there, Star Storyteller. But yeah, it is a that has to be my favorite so far that I've heard. Because there's always just some Twitter weirdo that just is not sane and just says really weird shit. And I think it's just that brain rot.
Yeah.
Well, we've been going for almost 2 hours.
It's been funny.
Boss asks, does it have cat people? Actually, Black Rhapsody has cat people.
Yep. I think one of the girls in the that double page spread you showed earlier was a cat person.
She is. Let me bring that back up. Beep. Right there.
Yep. The world of Black Rhapsody takes place in a very urban fantasy-esque environment. It's not the same as our world, obviously. They don't follow the same rules. Their religion is different, as you probably seen from the first book.
Yeah. Mystery Meat Shield says, I think a VTuber made the best term for them, Twitter freaks. Yeah, I think that was Silvervale, wasn't it?
Either Silver or Kirsha, one of those.
Yeah.
One.
It does sound more like a Kirsch thing. But yeah, it goes without saying, we've got a gorgeous franchise on our hands here. For those of you who are watching this, and those of you who might catch the VOD, for Black Rhapsody Book 1, I think everybody that's in the chat has already... Well, no, not everybody. We did get another backer.
We did?
So yep, we did. So you're... another person bought the comic, the physical. So you've only got 4 standard copies of the book itself left over. But,
oh my...
What I was going to say is, for those of you playing the home game who might be watching the VOD of this, after this stream ends, Serena is going to go ahead and hit the button that sends a message to Indiegogo that lets them know that it's time to close the campaign.
Yeah, I already did that.
Oh, she's already done it. Now, in doing so, it can take up to 24 to 48 hours. Since this is a weekend, it may not actually close until Monday.
So you guys have till Monday.
Yeah, so you guys have a little bit more time to get your hands on it. So for those of you who will watch the VOD of this, if you have not picked up this book yet, please do so. I'd like to see this whole thing sold out, honestly. But if you can't get your hands on a physical copy for whatever reason, the digital is still available to you as well, and that'll get sent to you post-haste. And then for future installments of this book, it's all going to be under Grindstone. And I will say, again, as the editor of this franchise going forward, I am very stoked to continue to work on it. Because, I mean, granted, at this point, somebody pointed this out. It was, I think my dad said this. He goes, "Is there a book for Grindstone you're not editing?" And I had to think about it. And I went, well, technically speaking, I'm not editing the ones I'm writing. That's about it. But no, I'm very, very stoked about this. Getting a little emotional. I am going to say this as sort of just as somebody who's been mentoring you as long as I have, and we've gone through our ups and downs, and we've, come together. You've helped me so much with, operating Grindstone and getting it off the floor and helping us to start establishing our social media presence. And I just want you to know, Serena, that I appreciate you a lot for what you do and what you help me out with, and for also letting me, show you the ropes and teach you how to do this. And I'm incredibly proud of you and everything that you've accomplished so far, and I cannot wait to see what you do in the future, because I really feel like we've only scratched the surface with what you can do with this. And I feel like I really look forward to when we get your confidence up, because I really feel like once we do, you're going to be unstoppable.
Thank you, Micah. I really appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with my female neuroticism and constant neediness. I know I'm a lot to handle.
Oh, you're nowhere near as bad as my sisters. Trust me.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna come too. Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Oh, we're getting a new character in the game. Oh god. I'm on social media right now. Something is wrong with me. Anyway. Thank God I don't have a stream, because I'll be looking at shit that I shouldn't be showing on stream.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, but thank you. And I want to also thank everyone who helped bring this project to life. I could not have done it without you guys. And I'm very, very sorry for how long it took to get this book out. I'm a first time comic creator doing Indiegogo. So there was a lot of things I didn't anticipate happening. But thank you for sticking with me this far. It's just now that I'm under a grindstone, hopefully the books will come out a lot quicker this time. I decided to take a much different approach to doing this book. I'm going to have the book completely illustrated before going to camp for launching the book. So that way there will be no roadblocks. And now I have resources to help me, such as Micah being my editor, and Mike, Optipops, Xavier helping me get this book out to you guys quicker. I want to also thank the people who provided me the art during the art contest. The art was beautiful. It was really hard to choose a winner. But I hope you like the art of the people who donated their art to me. And I'll also think about doing something similar in the future for book 2. Having more people contribute art and putting that in book 2.
Yep. Because one thing to mention about the second book and everything with Grindstone going forward, I don't think I've mentioned this on stream yet. I might have mentioned it when I was on with Lolly last week. Is everything with Grindstone going forward? Everybody who crowdfund or gets a crowdfunded book with us is going to get basically a special edition of the comic that includes some of the layouts from the book, so you guys can see what the creative process was like, early sketches, and even parts of the script, so that you guys can get a full experience of it. And then, of course, there'll be forewords or afterwards written by someone on the team, so you can get an inside track of like what the story is going into it and how it all came together. So, just speaking as the boss, I have to say I'm really stoked for everything that we're doing in the future. Because the next things on our agenda, now that we've got the mailing list up for this, now that Cyberpop is rolling, the next thing to work on is getting Englewood Book 2 fulfilled. which I'm going to start ordering the shipping materials sometime within the next week. And then I'll actually do live streams where I'm showing off the boxes for the box tier and stenciling on the logos and shit like that. So that'll be really cool. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that as well. And then, of course, once that's fulfilled, we're launching the Englewood Peregrine crossover. Got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of really cool shit. And if, trust me, folks, if you stick around, you're not going to regret it. With that said, Serena, do you have any final words before we close out for today?
I want to give one last thank you to everyone who has contributed to the book and bought multiple copies of the book. And I look forward to seeing you guys for book 2.
Yep. I will echo that sentiment especially, because I'm very, very excited about book 2. The script is great. The illustrations are coming together. It's going to be awesome. So everybody who is in the chat, thank you so much if you've already backed the book. If you haven't already, again, last call right now. If you're watching the VOD, the link to the campaign is in the description of the video, and the link to the mailing list for book 2 is in the pinned chat as right now. So, on that note, guys, everybody have yourselves a great rest of your day. We will see you. The next thing you're going to hear from us is going to be on The Grind, which we're recording tomorrow. And I'll be back on doing live streams on Tuesday. So, with all that said, folks, my name is Micah Curtis, your favorite Vanilla Gorilla. Have yourselves a great night.
Night.